The year is 2004. Blockbuster Video is untouchable. It sits on every corner of America, a cultural institution, a Saturday night ritual for millions. They are the kings of entertainment, the gatekeepers of Hollywood. Nothing can stop them. 6 years. That's all it took. 6 years to go from the most powerful name in entertainment to a cautionary tale they teach in business schools. How does a $6 billion giant simply disappear? It started with a single idea so obvious no one had done it properly. David Cook was a software entrepreneur. He looked at the video rental industry, a mess of mom-and-pop shops with dark windows and limited inventory, and he saw a gap. What if renting a movie felt like going to a superstore? No adult sections hidden in the back, no dim lighting, no intimidating clerks, just a bright, family-friendly temple of entertainment. The first store opened in October 1985. It was 8,000 square feet. It carried over 8,000 titles. It was unlike anything America had ever seen. By 1989, just 4 years later, there were over 1,000 Blockbuster locations. By 1994, media mogul Sumner Redstone acquired Blockbuster for $8.4 billion, a staggering sum that validated what everyone already knew. This company was the future of entertainment. At its height, Blockbuster collected $800 million per year in late fees alone. Let that sink in. $800 million every year, just from people returning movies late. It was an empire built on convenience and on the quiet humiliation of forgetting to return a tape. That detail will matter later. In 1997, two men had an idea. Reed Hastings was a software engineer. The story goes, and Hastings has complicated this version over time, that he was hit with a $40 late fee from Blockbuster. $40 for Apollo 13. Whether myth or truth, the anger was real. The problem was real. Their solution: rent DVDs by mail. No late fees. A flat monthly subscription. They called it Netflix. In the beginning, nobody panicked. Blockbuster certainly didn't. Why would they? Netflix was mailing discs to people. It took days. You had to plan what you wanted to watch. Blockbuster had 9,000 stores. You could have a movie in your hand in minutes. But here is where the story turns dark. In the year 2000, with Netflix hemorrhaging money, desperate, and barely surviving the dot-com crash, Reed Hastings flew to Dallas. He walked into Blockbuster headquarters, and he offered to sell Netflix to Blockbuster for $50 million. Blockbuster CEO John Antioco reportedly laughed him out of the room. The offer was declined. $50 million. Today, Netflix is worth over $300 billion. But the $50 million rejection, as dramatic as it is, wasn't even the real mistake. The real mistake came later. In 2004, Blockbuster finally woke up. They hired a new CEO, John Antioco, who understood the threat. He launched Blockbuster Online. He killed late fees, sacrificing that $800 million annual revenue stream as a bold, strategic move. It was working. And then the board fired him. Activist investor Carl Icahn, unhappy with short-term losses, pushed Antioco out. His replacement, Jim Keyes, arrived in 2007 and made the most fatal declaration in corporate history. He cancelled Blockbuster Online. He reintroduced late fees. He pivoted away from digital entirely. The ship wasn't just sailing toward the iceberg. The new captain was accelerating. The numbers tell the story with brutal efficiency. By 2009, Blockbuster stock was worth less than a quarter. Less than a quarter. Meanwhile, Netflix was exploding. Streaming had arrived. In 2007, Netflix launched its streaming service. Suddenly, you didn't need discs in the mail. You didn't need a store 2 miles away. You needed a couch and an internet connection. Blockbuster had no answer. They had spent years killing the one man trying to build one. In September 2010, Blockbuster filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The filing listed nearly $1 billion in debt. They closed 3,000 stores almost immediately. 60,000 people lost their jobs. Communities lost their Saturday night ritual. And Dish Network eventually purchased the remaining carcass of the brand, not for its stores, not for its strategy, but for its name, for nostalgia. That $50 million acquisition that Blockbuster laughed at. Netflix's market cap surpassed Dish's entire value within 3 years. There is one Blockbuster store left on Earth. It's in Bend, Oregon. People drive hours to take selfies in front of it. A museum piece, a punchline. What was once a $6 billion empire is now a novelty gift shop for people who remember the 90s. So what killed Blockbuster? Was it Netflix? Was it streaming? Was it bad luck? No. Blockbuster killed Blockbuster. Here is the single lesson every founder, every CEO, every investor must carve into their wall. Late fees. The $800 million late fee machine wasn't a feature. It was a wound, a source of fry, a source of friction, resentment, and embarrassment for every customer. Netflix didn't just sell DVDs by mail. Netflix sold freedom from late fees. It sold the promise of never feeling stupid and penalized for forgetting. And Blockbuster, the one company with the scale, the brand, and the resources to eliminate that wound themselves, chose instead to protect it, because it was profitable. This is the innovator's trap. The thing that makes you rich today is the thing that blinds you to what will kill you tomorrow. When Antioco finally tried to rip out the late fees, to cut that tumor out, the board stopped him. They protected their past, and in doing so, they surrendered their future. Blockbuster had every advantage. They had the stores, the relationships, the brand, the customers. They even had the chance to buy their own executioner for $50 million. They said no, not because they were stupid, because they were comfortable. Remember that name, Blockbuster. Say it out loud next time you're tempted to ignore a competitor because they seem too small to matter. Say it next time you protect a revenue stream because change feels too costly. Say it next time you fire the executive who's willing to burn down what you built to build something better.